What's going on YouTube? Today we got Bugzy Malone, Be Inspired, one of the most eye-opening videos, you know what I'm saying? Part 2. My fault, yesterday ain't have no audio. We back though, we back with Gucci. Check the audio.
I'm too intelligent, I have too many skills to just be trained in the background like a gladiator, put into the ring and made to fight another gladiator. There was more opportunity for a mind like mine in life. So I just took the leap and decided to make music, decided to just express myself blindly. There was no industry up here, nothing. I just decided that's what I'm gonna try and do.
Man told me, we were sat outside the gym, he told me, I'm gonna start rapping, I'm gonna start MCing. Yeah. We were sparring partners. We were sparring partners.
But you start verbalizing what you're gonna do on a platform as big as the UFC. You're saying that with conviction, and you're putting that out there that that's what's going to happen, and that's on your positive treadmill, and that's what's coming. That's why his results were so massive. We put an end goal in this description box. And what you don't understand about the description box at the time is you might not have filled in the happiness box. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not thinking about happiness when you're thinking about all the material goods. You're just thinking about getting there. And there come a point with me where everything I've ever wanted is in here. Lamborghini, £1 million house. And then what can end up happening is you get there and you can be unfulfilled, unsatisfied, because you never took friends into consideration. You put in so much into your business that you're not putting things into family time. And you're just kind of climbing this pyramid of when you sit on the top of the pyramid and you get to the end goal that you've had in this description box, and it drops off the treadmill. The treadmill's empty. So you can stay on the positive treadmill all you want, there's nothing else to drop off. But then you have a down day. You have a day where your trauma creeps up and you're sad, deeply sad inside, and you think, because I've just got everything I wanted. Tyson Fury talks about it. His whole plan was to fight Klitschko. But when Tyson Fury was training at the boxing gym, when I was just an amateur looking up to him, Klitschko was in power, reigning supreme. So for him to aim at Klitschko was like ridiculous, like mad. Are you gonna fight Klitschko? When you're gonna win and become the champion of the world, heavyweight, and you're just one of us? Mad. But he'd done it, and once he'd done it, that was the last thing on his treadmill. That was his end game, end goal. And then he goes into depression. Witness Conor McGregor do the same thing, and he was a double-weight champion in the organisation before he got into the UFC. So he's got it in his mind, I'm going to be a double champion in the UFC. That's what I'm going to do. It's never been done before though. So then he becomes the first one to do that. Where'd you go from there? When your whole life is around becoming the double champion of the organisation that nobody gets in. Nobody from Ireland, especially. And then you get there, where do you go from there? And that's where you see him with that confidence of accomplishing that. Then he goes and fights Mayweather. Then he comes into crazy money, stupid money. Where do you go from there? And this is where I see the pattern of people struggling with what do you do when the last thing drops off the treadmill? Because that is a dark and lonely time. And that's what happened with me. I used to look at the Skeptors, the Wileys, some of the originators in this grime music, what I'm involved in, and thought, I'm gonna overtake these guys. I'm gonna be the main guy what everybody speaks about. I'm gonna take it to the next level. I'm gonna be the one with the big house, the this, that, and the other. I've dropped 9 projects, 5 of them were prior to being an established artist. 5 of them weren't for sale. 4 of them were for sale. Each year I've been in the top 10. I've sold out 4 tours. My last tour was the biggest tour in grime history. 4 festival seasons, 4 years doing campaigns. I'm my own marketeer. 4 years in the limelight and consecutively being at the very top, independent, running my own record label. That means I own the rights to all of my music, mine. When the house dropped off the treadmill, that's it. No one can ever kick me out of my house again. I'll never be homeless again. What now? Where do I go from here? What next? Because I've aimed too low. I intended to be a millionaire when I was 30. I was 27 at the time. I'm 28 now. When you're aiming for these things at the age of 20, 21, it's so many millions of miles away. It's hard to get the complete timing right. I got the timing wrong. In fact, I aimed too small. What I had to do this year, beginning of this year, was move the goalposts. Rub everything out in the description box and go again. Fill in the description box. What do you want? I want a career in America. I want a career in America. I want them to know me. I want them to understand me. I want them to look back at my journey and be like, whoa. Legend shit.
Yeah, insane, shit like that.
I've just done this whole thing once before, and now I'm filling it in and embarking on this new journey. That's what Tyson Fury's just done. He went into depression, because what motivates you is what gets you out of bed, and there was nothing to get me out of bed. So what I've decided to do is commit my life to my supporters, all my energy into making sure no one gets in the way of us accomplishing that. That's what I'm gonna get. Nobody will stop that. This is what we need to do. That's what we need to take. When I've not got something to get, my drive was just gone. I was just a mere mortal. It just took me a while to gather all the information and what was going through my head. And then I just kind of realized I don't make music to make campaigns and hit the charts. I make music because that is my medium of self-expression. That's what I do. So that's when I made MEM Part 2. That's what mad. Financially, we was broken. We went from having carpets to having no carpet. It went from a good vibe in the house to always arguments, always difficult times. That home scenario of just war in your own house is a situation that will make or break it. Abusive situations going on at home, domestic violence and all that kind of a thing. And you don't really fit in school anyway because you're from the hood. So there was stages as a kid where I was like a little bit suicidal as a child. I was just down. I just had no understanding of what was going on. I got stabbed in my leg off a group of kids. Never fitted in. The kids in the area made it clear that I didn't fit in. I wasn't one of them. Because my mum had tried so hard to wrap me in cotton wool and not expose me to the lifestyle that she'd kind of come from. When I was hit with violence and stuff like that, I just wasn't sure how to deal with it. Like my mum's boyfriend would run in the room and be like, this is my room, not your room. And I'm like 9 or 10. The aggression that he's delivering that information to a 9-year-old kid, you're traumatizing me. Because when he walks out of that room, I'm thinking, what's mine then? The majority of the times when there was school trips, we couldn't afford it. Just knowing you weren't like the other kids.
Don't miss out on Walmart's Cyber Monday deals for days. You can score big on...
Yeah, man, this is a powerful motivational documentary. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hope you get your mind to where it need to be. Real though.
When the kids was pulling up in nice cars, and you'd just be crouching down because you didn't want people to see you. Because at that age, high school, you know, you're trying to be cool like everybody else. You just don't get to experience them moments of being the cool kid. It becomes your personality. No gas, no food, tins of beans. I used to be sick and tired of tins of beans. Like that was it. That you don't understand what's happening. You just know that every so often the house goes pitch black and the candles come out. And I just think eventually I just got to an age and stage where I kind of fought back. I realized I was I was fueled very much by fear. And I had to change that because it's not positive. Everything in life is problem solving. That's how I just seen it. If you're creative, it means you've got a good imagination. So what we'd do is if the house went pitch black, we'd get the candles out. We'd make a game out of it. So we'd make fun out of it. And I think that's why the situation of what I went through made me as opposed to break me. The minute you put me in a bad situation, I'm looking for my solution. So if the house goes black, I'm thinking, well, now we can play that game that we can't play when we've got electric. I'm gonna build an empire. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Just like Glastonbury, Wireless. The biggest tour in grime history. Each year I've been in the top 10. I've sold out 4 tours. So everything you do, every bit of progress you make will serve some kind of a purpose in your life. I'm just trying to share hope. And I get thousands of messages from people that are like, you've stopped me from committing suicide, you've helped me fight depression. I'm opening doors. I'm creating job descriptions for people. So it's like, come, be inspired like as I was. Build yourself up. What, they've expelled you from school, don't worry. And don't go too far down the criminal route because it might not be you. Stay focused, stay on track. Because there's things you can do over here. Find what it is that you enjoy doing and put all of your energy into it. What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid to believe it can possibly happen. I'm at the top of a mountain. These other mountains, it's horrible up here. Proper rocky and there's snow on the top, it's cold. I don't know why anyone's trying to get up here, but that mountain over there, it's tropical. These tropical creatures flying about, these tropical fruits on the trees. You know, that's the mountain I'm going over to now. So the process is come down from the mountain I've just climbed and climb that mountain, because up that mountain is contentment. The material things aren't what count. Everything that I done was kind of excessive and from a childish perspective. I just wanted these material things because that's just the things I didn't have growing up. My mum going through what she went through, I wanted to be able to protect her and make sure that she never had to worry about money ever again in her life. That was another part of this plan. But when I got up to the top of this mountain and I'm up here and I'm freezing by myself, it's like the one thing that I had to unravel in myself is just little things that, like, coming from where I come from, you're not honest. You're not honest with people and you're not honest with yourself. Even if you tell the truth, you're still not honest. I'm in a league of my own. And this is the part where I live. I'm starting fresh, but I'm starting from experience. I'm not starting stagnant. I'm not starting from having nothing. I'm starting from being financially stable. Not everybody's honest with themselves. And when you're not honest with yourself, you can't improve yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, you can't take the hides off. You can't take that bad attitude off. You can't take that negative version of yourself off. And that's what I had to do. I had to just strip all of them back and keep the things that I learned. So I learned to fight and look after myself. I keep that. Because life's a jungle, you gotta look after yourself. But the bravado around it, I'll take that off. Because why am I scaring people? I'm an honest person, I'll tell the truth. But again, bravado is not honest. So I'll just take that off. So I'm just taking, I'm stripping myself back. And preparing myself for the next level. Because now what I've told myself is I'm going to Hollywood. Going to Hollywood and I'm going to be doing some big things out there. How does that feel? What does the red carpet feel like underneath your Louboutins? That's what I'm interested in. So I'm aiming international now. I've had to open up my mind to the next level. Within the next level, what I will prioritize is happiness. Not to say that I wasn't happy, but there's an unfulfillment in the last thing dropping off the treadmill, and that will happen to anybody. Energy is our natural currency, okay? Money and precious metals are a man-made currency. They don't exist. Just a big heavy bit of something that's shiny. It's just a part of the earth. It's not a precious metal at all. We decided that's a precious metal because it looks pretty. and it probably serves certain purposes. Same with money. An actual note is an IOU slip to the bank. Energy is our natural currency. When I go on to have children, will I bring my children up with the man-made currency? What, money? You bring them up with love, nurture, time, lessons, deep-rooted lessons. You teach them to do artwork like my mum done to me. That natural currency is what will develop a beautiful person inside and out. And that's the currency I'm interested in gathering now. Because right now I've got a bank full of the other currency. All it does is buy me freedom. All it does is means I can lie in bed till whenever I want. Nobody can tell me what to do. If I can get a bank full of the other currency.
Don't miss out on Walmart's Cyber...
Yeah, man. Very powerful message, my brothers and sisters. I'm saying I hope y'all ears are open. Hope you're listening, you know what I'm saying? Because shit like this, man. It's good messages. I ain't gonna lie. Good motivational speeches, you know what I'm saying? Good inspiration.
Ball game.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's what a lot of people get twisted on their journey to success. They're aiming for the wrong currency. Most memorable moment in my career. There was a Christmas that I had with my mum. It was in, before I lived in this place, I lived in like a townhouse. And we had a Christmas there. And I had a great birthday, which was rare. That never used to happen. I was on Instagram dancing and all that. And I got my mum a car. I've done it before, but it was just that was and I made her this little thing. I put some pictures on a piece of paper and I wrote some notes to her and stuff. I decorated it, and on it I put we made it. And we made it out of that struggle that we was in. So for me, that jumps out as a key moment when I became happy. And then I bought this place. In MEM1, I'm talking about having an office and everything Koke white, so then I went and got the Koke white grand piano and just accomplishing the things that I kind of seen in my head. And just every single time I get a message from people saying I've helped and I've changed their life, I just feel like I've done what I said I'm gonna do. A lot of people that I hired in my business are friends and family. And I told them I would change their life. And I deliver. When I say it, it gets done. I don't regret anything, and I understand that everything is a part of my journey. The whole thing, every single thing happens for a reason, and it all happens around what it is that you aim to get. And that's God's plan, and God's meticulous. And that's why we can't go back in time. So I wouldn't mess with it. It was God's plan. I just wouldn't touch it. Because if you move a leaf in the past, the whole thing might not happen. And that scares me to tears. To be trapped in the lifestyle I came from before this scares me to tears. So I wouldn't touch it. I'm still here. And I'm fresh. I'm levels above what I used to be. So, you know.
That's the end of this one, y'all. Very, very powerful message from Mr. Bugzy Malone, you know what I'm saying? So I took a lot in just now, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that in, you know what I'm saying? I might just keep this and watch later and just rewatch this whenever I need some motivation and shit like that, bro. This is a great interview. I need to just keep certain shit like this for motivation, just rewatch gangsta. If y'all enjoyed this reaction, man, make sure y'all click on the last Bugzy Malone reaction on your screen right now, my brothers and sisters. You're gonna go to being subscribers. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Which react to next, man. Turn on post notifications. Turn on post notifications. You know what I'm saying? The bell next to the subscribe, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And Follow me on the gram at Link Official. Link in the description. And we out there, nigga. Word.